I believe might be one of the most important. First of all, what does a person need in order to have Shalom Bayit Amiti? What does a person need? What is the two items, the most important items that you need in a relationship? Basic items. Don't think so deep. Basic items. What do you need? Having a basic items. Do you know what you need? Love and respect. Respect and love. Very simple. Like I told you before, you send a message, my husband, I love you, my wife, even though that your wife will tell you, I don't need to hear it. Everybody needs to feel in love. Why you tell me so many times? Yeah. Well, she's calling the French, you know. He told me 10 times today that he loves me. To you, he said, why you telling me, why you repeating? Everybody needs love and even more respect. Respect and dignity even more. And I said always that respect, you don't measure when relationship is good. You know when you measure respect? When you and your wife fighting, which word are you using? Many of us go cheap right away. Many of us going in and we take a word that after that we cannot take it back. Respect, measure, is in the time of crisis. How do you behave and which word you're planning to use? I have no doubt that Dr. Daniel, that came from Yale University, his vocabulary in English, he always, even when he gets upset, he's looking at, said, perhaps, just perhaps, I'm very upset with you. Usually when you're coming in from university, this is the way that you're getting upset. I love when I went into London with my wife 6 months ago. I push people in purpose in London. I'm pushing. Why? Because, you know, it's so nice to see English people getting upset. It's so nice. Hello, why do you push me, perhaps? Don't try to push nobody in Israel. Why? He's going to bless you, your mother and your father, your grandparents, Rahmat Kunam. He will describe what kind of job all the family had. And this is in a good case. I'm not going to tell you what he's going to do to you physically wise. So in Israel, don't try to get upset nobody. But in London, it's so nice. So, so what do we need? We need respect and love. If this is so, listen to this. I saw today a book, Rabbi Yerucham Mimir. In his book he writes that the only way to have Shalom Bayit, the only way to have love and respect in the house is if you have, how do you call it? Menuchat hanefesh. You know what I mean, menuchat hanefesh? Peace of mind. When you relax, when you feel good, when you're tight, when you're angry, is no way that you're going to express any respect or any love. But with everything in life, I always tell people, money is important. Not because money is important. Because if there's no money in the house, you feel intense. So be wise when you spend money. Don't spend money to a vacation or to events when you don't have it. Today, every event is $500. You don't have to go. You don't have to go. If somebody wants to be rich, I don't have to pay for it. If he invites me to my wedding, I'm not in punishment to go to weddings and to pay $500. He wants to be rich. Be rich. Pay for the weddings. Why does I have to feel obligated to pay $500 because he decides that every place and the flowers and the singer and the Syrian community, the richest community in the world, the average gift for a wedding is 52 to 101. If you're rich, you give 101. If you're a normal, $52 only. They make buffet and that's it. Rich people, they want to prove that they're rich. They want to spend $200,000 that everybody's going to talk about them. And then they're going to say, Rabbi, why did they have Ayn? Why I feel that people, because you're the one that's paying $500,000 on the wedding. No problem. You want to spend. I don't have to pay for this craziness. I'm sorry. So be very wise not to spend the money that you have. If you have money, credit card, ladies, is not free money. I know ladies think that credit card is something that you can payment again. It costs 18 to 26% return every year, minimum. I will make it simple. If you spend $10,000, you have to pay at the end of the year another $1,800. another $2,000 extra. If you spend $20,000, you have to pay $3,500, meaning $350 extra every month. So our parents had this method. Only in our generation, we live off credit. Our parents, they had money, they spend. They had no money, they didn't spend. This is the method and the attitude of our parents. Today, nobody needs money. Nobody even carry money. Everything is credit card. I mean, a lot of respect to these ideas. It's a brilliant idea. But in the same time, somebody make a lot of money on you. So just be very careful not to bring the situation to be intense. Because in order to have love and respect in the house, you have to know the rule. And the rule is you need to have, Moshe, how do you call it? Menuchat HaNefesh. Menuchat HaNefesh meaning you don't have to go to yoga classes. Today I'm going to teach you with one advice, and it's not easy, how to get to peace of mind. Business put us in pressure. Children put us in pressure. Health put us in pressure. Stock put us in pressure. What else? Life put us in pressure. How, Rabbi, what's the secret? You can go to yoga all day long. In that 1 hour that you're going to do, you're going to be relaxed. Hour later, you're going to get cuckoo. It doesn't help. So what exactly we have to do in order to have Menuchat HaNefesh? Because the most important items in our life is to have peace of mind. In Hebrew, repeat after me, Menuchat HaNefesh. When your soul is relaxed. Not when the body is relaxed. Sleeping 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours will not help you to get peace of mind. Yes, you're going to be a little more relaxed. But if you worry, if you have anxiety attack, sleeping is not going to help you. So what do you need to know in order to have Menuchat HaNefesh? And the only way to have Shalom Bayit, the only way to have healthy marriage, the only way to have healthy life is to have peace of mind. Gabriel, what does a person need to have in order to have peace of mind? Listen to this. Yaakov Avinu, this week parasha, introduce Yaakov Avinu coming back to Egypt and is going to meet his own son. He didn't see his son for how many years? 23 years. Do you know what it means not to see your own child? Ladies, if I'm going to ask you if your child will go to Israel for 1 year, all day long on the phones, you're going to travel twice in that year to Israel just to see him. And you're going to call him back for 1 year. And when he's going to return in the airport, balloons, you're waiting for him with tears, with emotion. 1 year. 23 years. What's the first word that Yaakov Avinu said after he did Shema Yisrael? What's the first word? You know what he said? Amuta apam. Achare reuti et panecha. Now I can die. Now that I see you, I can go in peace. I can rest in peace, Lo Alenu. This is what Yaakov said, God forbid. Emmanuel, is any logic? I mean, what's the question that you're going to ask me? Daniel, what's the question you're going to ask me? Ask me the questions. What's the question that's coming right away in your mind when you hear that? Yaakov Avinu is seeing his own child after 23 years. What did he say? Now I can die. What's the questions? The question.
Why die now, not to spend time with us?
Spend time with him. Why you want to die now?
I don't know who is your husband, but your husband is a lucky man. No doubt your husband is a lucky man. May God will give you and your husband a long and healthy and a happy life. בורא עולם יפתח לך שערי אורה, שערי ברכה, שערי פרנסה, שערי שלום בית, שערי נוצ'ן גנוזים, שערי חוט ימים בשנים טובות, שערי חינוך ילדים, שערי אהבה ואחווה שלום ורעות, שערי בשורות טובות, שערי ישועות, שערי עושר ועושר אגדי, שערי תורה, שערי קדושה. כן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. That you realize that the Rabbi become very large and his blessing when he blessed this woman. The Rabbanit said beautiful. She said the question is, logic-wise, Yaakov was supposed to say, God extend my life. I just lost 23 years of my life. Now is the time to live longer. Please God, can you make my life much longer? At least like Abraham Avinu, 175 years. Or even Yitzchak, 180 years. God, give me a long life. What did he say? Now I can die. Everybody bothered with these questions. Listen to the answer. And the answer is brilliant answer. A beautiful method to our life. When I was saying, listen to this. You know why Yaakov Avinu said, now I can die? Until then, he was afraid to die. Because he was afraid to go to Gehenna. Why that Yaakov Avinu will be afraid to go to Gehenna? Putting tefillin, keeping kashrut. Our father Yaakov study all day long Torah. The most righteous. Why Yaakov Avinu? You know why? Because for 23 years, he was sad. Depression, you can be as religious that you can be. If you have depression issue, if you are sad and upset all day long, even if the reason is the right reason, even if the reason is right, somebody embarrass you, somebody put post against you, somebody literally stole from you money and he doesn't pay you. And I'm not talking about small money. $50,000, the only money that you save after 2 years, you give it to your friend for 2 months. 2 months. And you know how the friend is, Chudachat, I will pay you back. When our community tell you Chudachat, you can do Kaddish to the money. Chudachat doesn't mean I'm going to pay you. Chudachat meaning with God's help, it's going to take 20 years until I'm going to pay you. Now, you give it the money for 2 months, it doesn't pay you. You own the only money that you have. Can you be happy in this moment? Let's be honest. Yaakov Avinu was not sad for no reason. He was sad because his own child, the child that he loved so much, disappeared for 23 years. He's no body to bury. He's no grave to cry. At least when you have a grave, you're coming in and you're crying. He's no grave and no body. How do you want him to be happy? Do you know what exactly happened in these 23 years? The word Ammonai in the last 3 weeks parashiyot. For 3 weeks the name of God doesn't mention in the weekly parasha. Because if you are upset, I have nothing to do with you. God have nothing to do with the person that is sad. Do you know what brings happiness? Do you know what brings Shekhinah? Do you know what brings happiness? When people sit down and meal, and they eat, and they sing, and they create happiness. Happiness brings the presence of God. Now that he was happy, now that he came back, and he saw Yosef, said, now I can rest in peace. Now I know I'm going to Gan Eden. Yes, indeed. I was keeping Shabbat, keeping Kashrut, went to the mikveh 80 times, having Kabbalistic kavanot, like this, praying half an hour, every tefillah, it's all good. Wake up in the nets to have shiur Torah, it's all nice. But if you are sad and upset, God have nothing to do with you. The only way to get to Gan Eden, the only way to get to Olam Haba, is if you are happy. Menuchat HaNefesh. So how do you get Menuchat HaNefesh? You know how you get Menuchat HaNefesh? Having a faith in the Almighty God. Emunah and bitachon. When you have faith and trust that nothing happened to you, happened for you. And everything that happened in your life is for your benefits. And it's for your good. And God will never do anything bad to hurt you. God is your father. So the guy that took your money, you actually have to call them and say, thank you very much. I don't know why. Maybe I was supposed to die. And because you took the money, God extend my years another 50 or 100 years from now. So because of this 50,000, I'm going to have, I don't know, a long life. Maybe this 50,000 will come in the right moment. And when I need it, and then I'm going to open business that I'm going to become millionaires. Maybe, who know what? But nothing bad happened. And you are Yaakov Avinu. You are our father. You are upset over the loss of yourself. What do you feel, that God is making mistakes? I don't understand. Yosef HaTzadik went down. The only person that was supposed to be upset is Yosef. His own brother tried to kill him. They threw him into the pit. They sold him to Arabs. He's going into Egypt and being honest and faithful. He's not cheating, and his boss wife, what's the thank you? They send him to the jail for 13 years. 13 years in the jail, unreal. And he's sitting down in the jail. What exactly, Yosef? He see 2 Arabs, depressed. He come to them and said, why are you depressed? Can I help you in anything? They looked at him and said, this guy is not real. You're the only Jew in this jail. And you're asking us why we're depressed? You are here for no reason. Why are you not depressed? How? What's the secret? Yosef said, what did Yosef tell the brothers? לא אתם מכרתם אותי. לא אתם שלחתם אותי הנה. My dear brothers, do you know why I'm not upset with you? Do you know why I don't want to revenge? Because I know the secret of life, and the secret is, you didn't send me here. You didn't try. It was only a plan of God for me to come here and to become the most powerful Jew in the world history. Just yourself had the patience to wait and to see the hand of God. Most of us have zero patience. We lost a little money, we get cuckoo. Rabbi, what bad things happen to good people? I have Einara, I have Negara. Rabbi, can you make ashes? Can you find me a tzaddik to bless me this? No, God is wrong. God is wrong. It cannot happen to me. It cannot. I'm a good man. I'm keeping Shabbat. I'm doing this. What? Yosef a tzaddik also. Yosef a tzaddik is Yosef a tzaddik. He's much greater from you guys. No offense. He's the only one in the Torah that's called tzaddik. Noach and Yosef. Two people only. And he's the tzaddik. And he never said, God, why are you doing bad? Bad things happen to good people. Why he? Why that? He never had them. What Yosef is doing? Smiling all day long. And singing song of emunah. אילו יהודי היה יודע כמה חשובה אמונה. If a Jew just know how important it is to have a faith, he will sing all day long. He will sing to Hashem and bless Hashem for every obstacle that he has. Then you will never have any. I went one time to the hospital, if you remember, 3 years ago, and something good happened. I mean, I'm waking up, not so well yet. Hopefully God will not need to wake me once again. But I went to the hospital. Twice happened to me, twice. One time when my father lost his own eyes. My father, before a few years before he passed away, my father had a very, very strong diabetes. And having diabetes, you know, the two places in the body, the doctor is here, the two places of the body that diabetes touch right away is the legs and the eyes. Maybe one day you can explain why these two organs in the body. You're losing vision, and you put your legs in danger to be, learning. Now, my father lost both of them. 90% of one legs, and he became blind. One eye is completely, the other eye was balagan. But one eye. Now, to talk about your father is always emotional. So, I went in, and I was a rabbi in the Syrian community. And I started to search for a doctor. One of my students is the owner of children's place. Happened to be that this Kudo, the Kudo of the owner of the children's place, is one of the best eyes doctor in the United States. He's in New Jersey, he had a huge office, and he's an eyes doctor. And he was another Syrian doctor, that was also pretty good, in Brooklyn, in Coney Island. And I went over there. The guy told me, bring your father here. One condition, take him into Bar Ilan. Bar Ilan is the biggest university in Israel, very well known. Take him into Bar Ilan. I have a friend over there. He's also eye doctors. He's going to tell them to make checkup on your father. If he said that we can fix it, bring him over and we're going to fix it. Money when organized, the community said, Rabbi, any money. 25, 50, whatever, the Syrian, they know how to give. Said, Rabbi, any money you want, the money is covered. Bring your father, the surgery, nothing is included in an insurance, because no insurance. He's not even American. They said, we cover everything. Okay. I brought my father. I told the doctor, you have open check. You write the price. If you fix the eyes of my father, any price you want. You said, Rabbi, you're pretty generous. I said, yes, my community give me approval, don't worry. Open check. Get wild. Yeah, no. After that, you go to a vacation with your wife, 1 month of vacation, don't worry, on my account. I said, okay. I brought my father here. He checked them. He need my father to come here. The second condition, he went over there, he made the checkup in Bar Ilan. The second condition, for 3 months. 2 weeks to make the surgery, and 2.5 months to stay, to make sure that the eyes is working. Done that. My father came here. And he went into the surgery. He checked them. When he checked them, he said, Houston, we have a problem. The eyes is dead. No way that you can fix it. I went into the Kudo, the Kudo of the owner. He said, Rabbi, the eyes is dead. Who told you to bring him here? Now my father had a ticket for 3 months. So he had to stay here for 3 months. We got stuck. No surgery, no nothing. My father went in from Israel, telling all his friends and the whole community, I'm going in, I'm going to come to see, I'm going to have a vision, I'm going to... in his age, 75 years old. He was 70 years old at that time. He's big disappointed to come back with the same... You know what the embarrassment is that? I was very, very upset with the doctor. Everybody know me for 10 years. It's very rare to see me upset. I was very upset. Wow. Disappointed, upset, don't ask. I remember, wow, it was a few months that I was fuming. I said, wow, why? Why did he have to bring my father? 2 years later, when my father passed away, every year in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I'm calling to the doctor to say thank you. One time I even came to him and gave him a gift. I said, doctor, he said, Rabbi Vaknin, why are you so nice to me? I disappointed you so bad. I saw in your face that you're... I didn't talk. When I'm upset completely, I'm not talking. By the way, it's a good tip for Shalom Bait. When your wife is making you cocoa, don't talk, that's it. Don't say things that after that you're going to regret for the next 20 years. Just don't talk, be quiet. And you know what's funny? When you're quiet, your wife is upset with you. Why are you quiet? Why are you doing this, man? Say thank you, is quiet, you know. Every woman have the same nonsense. Why are you screaming? Now, when you answer it, you see, why you answer it? Why you... So what do you want me to do? You want me to answer or you want me to be quiet? When I'm getting upset, very rare, you know that? I'm quiet. I'm not talking completely. Now I was quiet. He said, I saw that you... I said, doctor, you don't understand. In that time, my father saw in one eye, and we spent with them times together. The only time that I saw my father for almost 15 or 18 years, when he was healthy, so to speak, and I spent time with him, it was in this 3 months. After that, I saw him in the hospital. And from the time that I went to the hospital until he died, I was in the hospital. 8 months with the sickness, chemo treatment, and then diabetes and balagan. But the only times that I saw him normal and I spent time and we spoke an hours after being stuck here for 14 years because of immigration paper. I didn't see my parents for 14 years. You don't understand. This doctor made me such a favor. I told him, thank you. But what's the problem? We don't have patience. We don't have patience. Why bad things happen to good people? Why you hurt my father? After that you realize, wow, it was the best thing that this doctor did. Because of him, I enjoy. You don't understand. You just have to have patience in life. Yaakovin, why are you upset? Why are you upset? What do you thought? You thought that God is wrong? You thought that your son disappeared for no reason? That God will ever let you down? Yosef is happy. He's happy. Menuchat HaNefesh. What the depth. What the message. The second story. I went in with my legs. Anyone here remember? I had issue with my legs. One time I went in and they took the nails. Whatever. I'm not going to get to details. We already know the story. I will make it short. But I went to the hospital. And I didn't understand why my legs become big and no alenu. And then in the hospital they told me, Rabbi Vaknin, the sugar is not high, sky high. It's ballistic high. Diabetes, Houston, we have a problem. I said, thank God I came to the hospital. Because not for no reason they call diabetes silent death. They have a debate among doctors which sickness is the worst. The sickness that we don't mention the names, chemo treatment, catering, slow catering, or diabetes. By the way, most of the doctors claim that diabetes is much worse. Do you know why? Because until you figure out that you have diabetes, it's too late. See, usually the sickness, most of the people, that you will never have none of them, you realize that in the first stage. Most of the people. Diabetes, they call it the silent death. It's in your body and you don't feel nothing. And you eat oshpedamo, osevo, chatosevo, balagan. You eat food process. You eat and you're smiling and ice cream and cakes and Baruch Hashem. And you don't realize. And you can see and you can walk. And then one day you wake up. Because of this doctor that made the damage to my nails, I realized that I have to be careful because of diabetes. I called the doctors and I told them, thank you for making me all this balagan. He made huge balagan in my leg. Huge balagan. And because of his mistakes. From a good heart, by the way, from a good attention. He came really, he's one of the community. He came from a good attention. He wanted to do to the rabbi a favor. And I told him, you really made me a favor. Because now I put something, I checked my sugar. I'm always under, I'm trying to be. Again, I have to get much better, I know. My wife said, you have to get much better. I see you in 2 o'clock in the morning. I see you in 2 o'clock. Study in another ice cream, another cake. I see you. You know, I remember every time I see my wife, I remember Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is arriving. Somebody is watching. The Almighty God, Ein Roa, Ve'ozen Shamad. The eyes is always open. She put camera all over the house. I'm trying to get, she's calling me, I can see you in camera number 3. Please, David, let my people go. Let me leave, please. If this is so, having a menuchat nefesh, what do you need to have, doctor? And how do you get peace of mind? Faith in God. And when you are having a faith, you will never get upset in the business. You will never get upset if the deal didn't work out. You will never get upset because the stock went down or the stock went up. You will never get upset on nothing. Because everything that happened in your life, something good is coming out from it. Just have a little patience. If this is so, we're going to move into the second message. And the second message, the first message is having a faith. And the faith is the most important. The second message is, gentlemen, ladies, the most important things in a relationship is to remember. Akarat atov. Appreciation. Appreciation is the second message of tonight. How many of us, after hearing me so many times, tell your wife or your husband every day thank you for the food that she just made? Every day, night, you coming in, Moshe is still newlywed. They still say thank you in this year. And this year, they're still romantic, they still say thank you. They still open the door, they still send flowers. The 4 years, don't be judged now. I'm not going to judge you now. Let's see, 5 years from now, how are you going to talk? Now, you say, Be'ezrat Hashem, Moshe, that you're going to say to him. You're a good man, Moshe, you're a good man. Your heart is pure and you... Mazal, באמת, you had a mazal. You had a mazal to take mazal, and she had a mazal to take mazal. I approve this message. Sponsored by Rabbi Vaknin. Moshe is a good man. He's a good man, no doubt. You know what we need? You know what we need? To say loud and clear, thank you. Thank you for the things that I said. I don't take lightly this class. Okay, every week, Baruch Hashem, is a full house. I still don't take it lightly. How did I start every week? Thank you very much for finding the times, the effort and the money to find 1 hour to come to this shiur. You really extend my life until 120, 1 week at a time. Unreal. How many of us, when the wife one time doesn't cook, you see, I told you the story many times. Was a professor that came into a class, and he said, today I'm going to ask you simple questions. What's the questions? He put like this. What's the questions? He gave all of them a paper, and he asked them, what do you see? 1 question. This is the test. What do you see in this paper? One of them said, what? He's giving. What do you see? A black dot. A black dot. Everybody wrote in the test, black dot. 100%. 25 student, 25 the same answer. So the doctor said, I don't understand. This paper is 99% white. And suddenly all of you saw the 1% of black. How many times in life we're all the same? Your wife giving you dinner every night for the next 5 years or 10 years, one time she miss? Why? Crisis in the house. Never happened in Bukhara, against tradition. Why you miss? What kind of wife? I don't understand. 99% of the times, you get in your dinner. The house is clean. The children is dressed. Everything is perfect. 99% of the time, your husband come in time. He always behave. One time he came late. In crisis in the house.